Folks, buckle up. We're about to dive into a showdown that will make your head spin. Trump versus a hostile reporter in Chicago. And let me tell you, it is not pretty. But here's the kicker. Trump doesn't just stand his ground. He turns the tables completely. We've got the footage that will shock you, challenge everything that you've heard, and maybe, just maybe, change your mind about the man himself. So stay tuned because the final thought is a game changer. Now, before we dive into this media showdown, let's talk about protecting your future. Just like Trump's defending his record, you need to defend your wealth. The dollar's weakening faster than a politician's promise, folks. Gold has hit $2,400 an ounce. That's not because gold's getting pricier. It's our greenback that's losing value. Smart money is moving to precious metals. Don't get left behind. Call Global Gold Investments at 888-700-4148. Mention Next News for VIP treatment. They're offering a 5-year IRA fee waiver on qualified rollovers. Secure your future now. Call that number on the screen, 888-700-4148, or click IRAGoldproof.com. That link is in the description. Your financial fortress awaits. All right, let's get right into it. Donald Trump, he walked into the lion's den at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Chicago, and boy, did the sparks fly. But Trump, he didn't just survive, he thrived. Right off the bat, an ABC reporter came at him guns blazing. No pleasantries, no warm-up, just a full-on assault. Watch this.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that, and let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense, and then you said you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something was wrong.
Mr. President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe that black voters should trust you with another 4 years.
I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here.
Did you catch that? The reporter threw everything but the kitchen sink at Trump. But here's the thing, he did not flinch. He called out the hostility, defended his record, and turned the tables on the media bias. He wasn't having any of it. But it didn't stop there. When the reporter tried to corner Trump about January 6th, he flipped the script entirely. Watch.
dis, another had a stroke, were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
Well, let me bring it back to modern day. Like about 5 days ago, we had an attack on the Capitol, a horrible attack on the Capitol. You saw the people that were protesting and spraying these incredible monuments, bells, lions, all these magnificent limestone and granite with red paint, red spray paint that will never actually come off, especially in the limestone. It will never, I'm a builder, I know about this stuff. It'll never, you'll see it in 100 years from now. They viciously attacked our government. They fought with police. They fought with them much more openly than I saw on January 6th. What's going to happen to those people? What's going to happen to the people in Portland that destroyed that city?
But sir, my question is on those.
What's going to happen to the people that tried to
those rioters who assaulted officers?
You have to
would you pardon
what's
those
going to
people?
happen? Oh, absolutely, I would.
You would pardon those?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
They've been convicted.
And by the way, the Supreme Court just well, they were convicted by a very tough system. How come the people that tried to burn down Minneapolis, how come the people that took over a large percentage of Seattle, how come nothing happened to them? How come the people
But sir, we're talking about people that were seen beating officers with flagpoles, dragging them down the stairs. They're on video. Have you seen that video, sir?
Oh, really? Well,
you would pardon those rioters?
They shot a young lady in the face who was protesting. They shot her in the face. You know, nobody died that day. You do know that. But people died in Seattle. Nobody died, but people died in Minneapolis. You know people died in Minneapolis. And nothing happens, and nobody ever talks, and nothing happens to those people. But you went after the J6 people with a vengeance. And I'll tell you what about the cops that were, and I'm all for the police, as you know, but what about the police that are ushering everybody into the Capitol? Go in, go in, go in. What about that? Look, nothing is perfect in life. But you have people from Minneapolis, you have people just from 5 days ago in Washington, D.C. They were having fistfights and fighting with the police. They were spraying and destroying. They were desecrating our monuments in Washington, D.C. 5 days ago, and nothing happened to them. And you can't have two systems of justice. That's why they went after me as a political opponent, because they felt they couldn't win without doing that. And we're going to.
So he didn't take the bait. Instead, he brought up the recent protests, pointing out what he sees as a double standard and how different groups are treated. He's challenging the narrative, folks, and it's got the media scrambling. Now, you might be thinking, Gary, come on, Trump's record with the black community, it can't be that good, right? Well, let me take you back to 1999. Here's what the Reverend Jesse Jackson had to say about Donald Trump. Watch.
I do want to express thanks to you, Donald Trump, for being with us tonight. We need your building skills, your gusto, your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity. And we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand. A big hand for Donald Trump. I now want to bring forth a friend who has, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness, and his commitment for the success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style and his pizzazz. He's a serious person who's an effective builder of people. Last year he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
I will tell you, a large percentage of the people, and especially in construction, that are building these great jobs are black and minorities, and I'm very proud of it. We have close to 25%, and I think the number's going up, and they do a great job. There are no better builders than we have in New York, and a big percentage of that is black and minority folks. So I just want to thank everybody in the room for being here. I look forward to some questions, and then I don't know how we're ever going to leave this building today, because if you look outside, it is terrible, but we'll figure a way. There's always a way, and thank you, Jesse, and congratulations.
That's right. Jesse Jackson praising Trump for a lifetime of helping the African-American community. Not exactly what the mainstream media wants you to see, is it? But wait, there's more. When that reporter tried to corner Trump about Kamala Harris, this is all the controversy right now, Donald Trump did not back down. He called out what he sees as political opportunism. Watch this exchange.
Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage. And she was
clip on the screen?
Only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black.
Let's start the clip.
Until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. And now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman.
I respect.
Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage. And she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. And now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman.
I respect either one. I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask.
Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because
So he's not pulling any punches. He's questioning the authenticity of Harris identity politics. And the audience, well, they are eating it up. Now, here's something you won't see on CNN. Ready for this? Eagle-eyed viewers caught this moment during the broadcast. Take a look at this. Watch what Trump does.
What do you say?
So what I wanted to say was the last time we spoke,
He's taking her water bottle.
words that were prophetic.
That's his water
Because
bottle.
I asked you.
See it again. She looks away, he grabs her water bottle and makes it tighter and puts it back.
Because I asked
I would love to see the moment. I would love to see the moment when she picks up that water bottle and tries to open it up. And she's struggling with it. So it appears as Donald Trump just pranked the reporter who was giving him a hard time. Now, this man knows how to handle the press, folks, but let's zoom out for a second. We'll take a look at what's happening on the streets of Chicago. Watch this.
Why do you think they're doing this? Why would they be bringing in these tens of thousands of people, 20 buses a day, 1,000 more per day? Why would they be doing this? And what's your message?
The only reason that I can see that they would be doing this is to replace us. And we say Trump 2024 because Trump is the only one who's going to do something about this and partner with all of America. This is where all of America has got to come together and put a stop to this. We have to send these people back where they come from, or this is going to explode violently. It's going to explode on multiple fronts. And the mayor and this governor doesn't care. And since they don't care, then we must go red. We must link up with all of America, and we care, and we have to do something about it. We coming for every elected official that didn't step up, and all those that supported this mass, wipe out of our communities. We coming for you. By the time Trump gets ready to run in November, Chicago is gonna look like a sea of red. When that Democratic National Convention get here, you're going to see so many red T-shirts that you're going to think you're in Texas.
Enough is enough. We just can't give it away to foreign nationals. No other country's going to allow us to come in and do the same thing that's happening here.
You have American citizens of African American descent that have built this country and built the great city of Chicago. They are the broad shoulders that have built this city, and they are being disrespected by the Biden regime, the entire uniparty, the globalists, because now they're forcing illegal alien invaders into a city that doesn't have the resources to care for its citizens in healthcare, in education, in police protection, in economics, and anything. And now they have to bear the brunt to it. And they're too gutless. These progressive whites that run this deal are too gutless to have them in there, just like they're not in the Upper East Side of New York or the Upper West Side. They're not out by Northwestern University.
It's something in their minds that makes them believe that they'll do this to us and we do nothing in return. This is not just for Chicago for us. We've reached all across the country to send them a message. We're going to flip America red. We're going to send the strongest message to the Democratic Party that Black America, Black Chicago has ever seen. Black America is about to rise up now that we are the mothers and fathers. We're saying Trump 2024 across America. And we ask Trump to come to Chicago, come here and walk these streets with us. And we'll put thousands behind him as he walks the streets. And that's a fact. That's a promise.
Ooh, wow. So these are real people facing real problems, and they're calling for Trump to come to Chicago and walk the streets with him. I mean, he just went into the lion's den with that media convention, and he handled it well. But they're saying that he's the only one who can fix this mess. Now, of course, the White House is pushing back. They're calling Trump's comments at this convention repulsive and insulting. But here's the thing. The American people, they're not buying it anymore. They're seeing through the smoke and the mirrors. Trump is not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. He's facing hostile reporters head on, defending his record, and connecting with voters in a way that has the establishment shaking in their boots. This is not just about a press conference, folks. It's about the future of our republic. It's about who we trust to lead us through these turbulent times. And if this event in Chicago is any indication, Trump is not backing down. He is doubling down. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So here's the bottom line, folks. What we saw in Chicago wasn't just a clash between Trump and the media. It was a glimpse into the future of American politics. Trump showed us he's not afraid to face tough questions, defend his record, and connect with voters directly. The reporters who think they can ambush Trump, well, think again. He's ready for you. And to the American people watching at home, pay attention. This is what real leadership looks like. November's coming, and the choice could not be clearer. It's time to decide. Do we want a leader who fights for us or one who hides from the tough questions?